But anyways, welcome back to the Beyond the Backboard Podcast, guys. Another special episode of 2 Minute Drill. My name is Omar. Next to me are my beautiful co-hosts, Jay and Max. Earl had to do something today, but that is okay. He will be in our podcast video earlier this week. Make sure to check that out. And we're going to be talking about the Utah Jazz today. There's a lot of stuff that they ended up doing this summer, trading John Collins and gaining a bunch of young talent. So with that, I'm going to pass that on to Jay for our first 2 minutes starting now.
So I think the Utah Jazz are headed in the right direction, but they're also making some very questionable moves. I love the Ace Bailey pick. I think he was the third best player in this draft behind Coop and VJ Edgecombe. They got the third best player at number 5. Did your thing there. Got Walter Clayton at good value. I think 18 or 20. Good pick there. I love their young talent. You got Collier from last year still. Still got a young Keontae George, Bryce Sensabaugh. Taylor Hendricks is going to come back from the leg injury. They have so much good young talent, and they're stacking up, doing their thing. I love what Danny Ainge is doing. But in terms of them getting rid of their vets and what they're giving them up for, is just not making sense to me. Like, they bought out Jordan Clarkson. Okay, you could have traded him years ago. They waited too long to trade him. He ended up losing value. You trade Colin Sexton and a second-round pick for use of Nurkic. Terrible give-up. Like, why? Colin Sexton averages 18 points a game in the NBA. Nurkic is almost unplayable. Give him up for nothing. John Collins, kind of dumped him as well. John Collins averaged 19 and 8. Could start on a lot of NBA teams. Gave him up for nothing. Didn't get value back. I don't understand what they're doing in terms of their vets and just giving it up for absolutely nothing. Second-round picks or even guys that just don't play in the league anymore. But I still like what they're doing in terms of accumulating young talent. Mm-hmm. And then to go on, the Walker Kessler trade rumors. Why would they trade Walker Kessler? I don't know. He's one of the best starting centers in the league. We argued about it on the last pod. He's probably a top 5 starting center. Not top 5 center, but starting center in the NBA. He can get blocks, gets rebounds, and he gets easy buckets under the rim. Why would you be trying to trade a guy like that? I thought he fits into the timeline. He's about to go into his 4th season. Why are they trying to move on to him for Kyle Filipowski? I do not know. But I'm in between on the Jazz, man. I think they're moving, they're trending forward, but they're also doing moves that are going backwards. Who knows, though? Shout out to the
That's
Jazz.
about it. All right. My 2 minutes start now. To kind of carry on from what you were saying, I really do think they're kind of just dangling him a little bit. See what they could kind of get for him, if that makes sense. I think Earl actually said that a few days ago. It's kind of just the Jazz are kind of just hanging the low-hanging fruit in front of everybody to see what they can get from it. And in terms of Walker Kessler, I think they're throwing out ridiculous offers like two first-round picks for him and a good player because they don't want to move on from him. Is because they really do want to keep him. But the fact of the matter is, if they want to get better, they're going to have to get somebody better, somebody more ready, or maybe they just want to shut off some money. I don't know what they're doing in terms of moving Colin Sexton. I think it was a good move though, because I really don't see the necessity of having him. I think they have a lot of good young guards, and now they can probably bring in more. So I don't see a reason for them to even keep Colin Sexton. However, I will say this: I don't see a reason why the Hornets traded for Colin Sexton. But we will continue. Ace Bailey is going to be a great pickup for them, whether he wants to play for them or not. Danny Ainge really did cook on that pick. I don't see why he shouldn't have picked Ace Bailey. And I think they have to trade Lauri Markkanen. I think that's the main big that they actually have to trade, because I think he's eating up the most money, and not that he doesn't deserve it. And I think he earns it on a different team. I think his progression goes down if you do put him on a different team. So while saying that, I like Lauri. I think he's a great player. I think his term of production kind of goes down once put on another team with another person. And that's where you kind of see NBA GMs not really getting involved, not really training for that contract. And again, Walker Kessler, way too much, and it's a tactic. And I'll secede the rest of my 5 seconds here.
All right.
All right, 2 minutes start now.
I think the Jazz are starting to go in the right direction. It feels to me like they are fully committed to their rebuild. I think they missed, unfortunately, their window to trade Markkanen. I think that was last offseason. We just saw Markkanen have a big step down in terms of value this year. I mean, last year he was coming off an all-star appearance. I think his value was at an all-time high. Teams like Golden State were going to pay a premium. Now, I'm not sure what you get for him. I do agree with Omar. I think trading him is the next move, or at least the right move. Not sure you're going to get as much as maybe you would have 12 months ago from him, but he doesn't really fit the timeline for this team anymore. I would like to see them just go ultra young and try and find that next diamond in the rough of the players they have. I mean, they have Ace Bailey. They have, Isaiah Collier, Taylor Hendricks, Keyshawn George, Filipowski, Kessler. All those guys are younger than 24, 25 years old. Like, you got to find your next franchise player. I don't think, unfortunately for them, Lowry was a great stopgap and brought them some good success, got them into the All-Star game as a player. I don't think he's that franchise guy for them anymore. So I think the first thing they got to do is figure out what the most they can get from him is. And then from there, figuring out a way to maximize the value with the assets they do want to trade, which is something they haven't really done. I mean, John Collins, getting back Kevin Love and Kyle Anderson are just fillers. Really all they got for John Collins was a second-round pick. Not great. Trading Sexton for Nurkic. And did they get a second in that? I don't even know. But again, not really maximizing that value. So it's, Danny Ainge, usually he is a guy who is really good at maximizing value for assets. I'm not quite sure what's going on here, if he's starting to get impatient, if he's starting to just accept less than he normally does. But I think if they're able to maximize their assets, kind of do a full reset on this team, tank for another year or two, see who on their roster is the guy. Maybe it's Ace Bailey, maybe it's Keyshawn George, maybe it is Walker Kessler becoming, a perennial all-defense player. Figure out what you have there, give them the space to grow, and then go from there. So I like what I'm seeing from them, but they got a lot of work to do.
All right, perfect. And kind of just to top off the episode and kind of end it off. And I do think you have a point, right? Lauri Markkanen, I kind of agree with you. His window kind of went last year.
That's what I didn't even mention him. Yeah. I think he's staying. He's going to be on that team.
Really? You think he's going to be part of this rebuild?
Not because of being part of the rebuild.
I don't think he's that far off the time. I think Lauri's only 26, 27?
He's 27. It's just, I don't see Lowry. I call him Lowry. I don't see him becoming any better than what he is now.
It's just, like you said, Max, they had the window last year. He made the fucking All-Star game.
Yeah.
If you were going to trade him, it should have been last summer. Then you play him this year. He had injuries. And then when he was playing, he wasn't that effective. I don't know, because they were tanking. They were telling him to not go full throttle. I don't know what it was. He did not look good this year.
No.
So his value is depleted. And you're already giving up guys like Colin Sexton for nothing. Jordan Clarkson, you let him walk. You gave up. Who else did they give up? They just traded. John Collins for nothing.
Maybe
Danny Ainge is
say we want to try and rebuild the value.
Exactly. And like you said, Danny Ainge is either impatient or he's just fuck it. I'm just trying to get this over with now.
I think it's kind of a mix of both worlds. I think it's really coming from a place from the earlier Danny Ainge we saw was somebody with more than enough assets to work with when he was in Boston and doing his thing in Boston. When you come to the Jazz and you're dealing with much in terms of less talent and less assets and all
a
smaller market, he's still thinking he's in Boston. His mindset is still in Boston when it should be in Utah. If that makes sense, because he doesn't have the Boston roster. He doesn't have the assets of the Boston Celtics. He doesn't have the money of the Boston Celtics.
He doesn't have the luxury that being the Celtics GM at that time affords.
And how guys will be going for a Porzingis or a Jaylen Brown or a Tatum. You had that one guy last year and you held on to him too long.
Teams
I agree are not going to keep hounding the Utah Jazz for Lauri Markkanen.
Exactly. He should have let off of Lauri earlier.
Good point. I like the point you made.
And he should have made off of Lauri earlier, because that would have at least given him the assets that he was looking for. Now it's not, because now if you could go to Golden State and maybe get Moses Moody out of him.
That's Golden State's price is definitely going to be lower than it was last year.
It's it's a give and take.
Just throw Kuminga to the Jazz.
I call me crazy. I think the Warriors are going to do the most toxic thing, and no matter which team signs Jonathan Kuminga, I think they're going to match it.
At the time of recording, Jonathan Kuminga is still a free agent. He is not signed any offers.
That's why I'm saying that.
Maybe by the time this comes out, Omar's prediction will be true. But let us know what you think about the Utah Jazz, whether you think Lowry's marketing is going to be on the move, whether he's staying, what you think of this young core they got. Is Danny Ainge cooking something, or is he making the wrong moves here? Let us know in the comments section below. And as always, be sure to follow along. We got the main pod going up every week. We got 2-minute drill going up every week, all throughout the summer. So look forward to that. Follow us on Playback as well if you would like. Come in the Playoff LAL room if you want to see these episodes live. BTB podcast room for the 2-minute drill episodes.
We back on Spotify this week? Back on Spotify this week?
Yes, we're on Spotify this week.
On Spotify. So if you want to, if you don't mind not seeing our beautiful faces, you just want to listen to audio, check out Spotify as well.
Apple Podcast coming soon, y'all. We cooking on that.
Yeah, I don't know how to post on there, so we'll figure that out soon.
I'm gonna tell you after.
We'll get it going soon.
Appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you guys so much for your views and your support on YouTube as well. Thank you guys. Appreciate every single one of you guys.